Come on in, come on in, come on in. What's up? What's good? What's up? What's good? It's man Theo Butler. Welcome to another exciting comic book episode. If I ain't saying, I'm just saying Rock Me Nation. Y'all go ahead and clap the damn thing up. Before we begin, like, share, subscribe. You like, leave a comment. You don't like, leave a constructive comment. You see what we got going on. You see, we got Avengers versus X-Men issue 2. Brought to us by the talents of Brian Michael Bendis, right? Jason Aaron, right? Frank Cho, right. And we also got Jason Keith. I want to thank y'all so much for bringing this to us and everything like that. This would be the storyline that broke up T'Challa Ororo. Yeah. Anyway, this story picks up on a distant planet in a galaxy far away from here. Like it's As a youngling gazing out of a window, staring at a bright light that's getting brighter and brighter by the picosecond. Yeah, that's what that is. As he utters father, we know that because they translate. The Phoenix Force arrives. Their planet is decimated. The Phoenix Force moves on. Over at Avengers Tower, we find Tony and the Protector. Yeah, Protector. That's I'm just saying the name. I didn't come up with it. That's what it is. The Protector having a disagreement about how to handle a coupling drive when they notice something approaching. That something shreds the wing of a jumbo jet, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the top of the Empire State Building. Anyways, Thor, Warbird, and Iron Man to the rescue. My fault. Spider-Man saves the day as well. Got to give him his props. Over at the point of impact, we find Cap, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and the Protector staring at Samuel Alexander, a.k.a. Nova. This ain't Richard Rider. I'm sorry. I didn't write this. Don't do this. Yeah, I know. This scene, though, remind you of when the Silver Surfer, Doctor Strange, Sanctum Sanctorum. Or what about the Hulk? MCU version of that story. I ain't saying this. He doesn't say Thanos is coming. No, that ain't what Sam said. He does say though something is coming, and then he go night. We shift scenes to Utopia, where Scott is training Hope. Right, hard as hell. Yeah, I hear LL Cool J in my mind saying hard as hell. Anyway, hard as hell. If Eric noticed it enough to speak on it, yeah, you going real hard. He got to say, yeah, it's great. It's for a reason though. Scott doesn't want her relying on her powers if she doesn't have access to them, whether she's taking on a super powered foe or not. Makes sense to me. Make all the sense in the world to me. We just gonna say right here though, Scott pushed her just a little too hard because he gets hit with what appears to be the Phoenix Force. Color Eric, Emma, Hope, and Scott. He survived that. Over to Washington, D.C., where Steve and Tony are filling the Joint Chiefs of Staff in on what they found. Long story short, the Phoenix Force is on its way to Earth. Their plan was to put together a team to meet the Phoenix in space and defeat it. Out of the roster we see here that Captain Tony talked about, compared to the roster that they gave us on the introductory page, we sure this the best 8 they need to be sending out though. Before they can follow through on that, what I would consider to be a bad decision, they are alerted that the Phoenix Force has flared up on Earth again. And while they don't know where, they know who to go ask. They do. Over at the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning, Steve pulls up on Logan. He gets all the intel he needs, as well as Logan's word, that he will assist them in stopping the Phoenix Force. Back over at Utopia, where we find Piotr Nikolaevich. Eric, Emma, and Namer want to know what's really going on with Scott. Straight up, Scott feels like the Phoenix Force can be used as a source of rebirth as opposed to just destruction if wielded by the right vessel, vessel being hope. I mean, legend, when you think about mythos and everything like that, that is what we do with the Phoenix. Yeah, makes sense. That she can be used to reignite the mutant population that was nearly wiped out by Wanda. That's what Scott's hoping Summer can do. That's his big plan. And that's why he's been so protective of Hope. That said, the best laid plans, mice and men, though, as Emma alerts him that they got company. Cap done pulled up. As Emma and the family eavesdrop on Scott, are you family? And Steve's convo, I can't lie. I feel what Scott's saying. The Avengers and the Fantastic Four have been around forever and are always inexplicably absent when humans decide to wage war on mutants. They be ghosts. That whole thing from Steve about respecting, you want to respect the mutants, you want them to solve it? Right. Sound like a convenient way of excusing yourself from helping. And we can have that conversation later. That part right now, that sounds awfully familiar. We can have a conversation later on because now we need to be concerned about what you concerned about. But when I was concerned about some stuff, we never got to have that conversation. Like I said, I felt Scott on that. I feel him on that one. On the 616, maybe if Steve would have listened, because this takes place in the 616, Krakoa would have been a nation open to many, not just mutants, and still open as opposed to a place where mutants felt like they needed to go to segregate themselves from human hatred. Does art imitate life, or is life imitating art? I keep asking that question. That said, we know how this goes, right? Right, I'm hoping. All that talking, and neither one is really listening to the other. So Sight tells Steve, get off my island. Straight like that. Get off my island. Well, one Avengers Assemble cry later, and we see a helicarrier full of Avengers. Question. By having Hope go with the Avengers, because the Phoenix Force is coming to her, why not just set up shop outside of Utopia and work with the X-Men? It just, you know what happened. Wanda did it. That's your teammate. She the one that's responsible for the mutant population being what it is. So I would like to think that morally, you would say, hey, you know what? Let's work together to do this. Yeah, all them damn Avengers and the helicarrier, you should just park right there. Right? Work with the X-Men, using the Phoenix Force to reignite the mutant population. What you say? Okay. What you say? There wouldn't have been any conflict. Is that what you're saying? For this story? Okay. Why not? I mean, it could have been an SAX event. You know how we got the Axe event, Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals? Yeah, this could have been a SAX event. We could have got the Shi'ar versus the Avengers and the X-Men. Yeah, because we know how the Shi'ar feel about the Phoenix Force, right? Right. Well, it ain't have to be the Avengers fighting the X-Men. It could have been the Avengers and the X-Men taking on the Shi'ar. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. If you don't like it, just... Anyways, as Scott tells Emma to get Hope to safety, we see everyone else get ready. See y'all next issue. My thoughts. I did. Nice solid issue 2 and everything like that. On the heels of issue 1, we get reminded of the destructive force, destructive power of the Phoenix Force. We see Cap, because this is coming off the heels of Avengers Disassembled and everything like that. We see Cap and Tony making the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They would have been known as the Department of Defense back then. make them aware. Now they pull up. Now here's the thing. Steve is Steve. We get his personality played brilliantly by the Chris Evans over in the MCU. Steve is stubborn. Now, I would like to think that Steve is a little bit more empathetic, but if we're looking at the history of the X-Men and Marvel Comics throughout their whole time with Oliver Trask, the Sentinels, the United, the people that the William Stryker put together, the Avengers and every day and damn near every other superhero always been MIA, and I never understood that because I'm like, aren't the X-Men heroes too? And aren't Hank McCoy been an Avenger? Pietro is a mutant. He's been an Avenger. Like, they've had mutants on the team. Vance Astro, Justice, Firestar. They're all mutants. And you would, the Avengers act, name of them been on that damn team. The Avengers act like, by and large, at least the editorial department, that whenever the X-Men have a problem, the Avengers and no one else in the superhero community knows about it. Now, this time around, the Axe event and the Krakoan event, I felt like that was the right way to do it. Those superheroes should be united. Jason Aaron having Carol go holler at Scott and say, hey, while we gone, can you do bop, bop, bop? The Avengers and the X-Men are heroes. That's what, and heroes are supposed to look out for one another, whether they were born with their abilities, inherited their abilities, accidentally were bestowed their abilities. That's what that's supposed to be. So, great job in acknowledging that and everything like that. So far, so good. You didn't see T'Challa Ororo, did you? Yeah, you should have known I was going to point that. You didn't see him? I ain't either. 14 more issues to go. That's it. I'm out. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. And as usual, well, I want to make this a regular thing. Before we get on up out of here, special shout out to all the channel members who make this possible. My brother D-Real, my brother Kimoyo King, the head Dora herself, May Kent, my spiritual advisor, Grand Madam Tarot, my elder, Mr. Ray Smith, the moderator himself, D. Steezle, Vicky, Teachey Thomas, the Diabolical Nerd, and last but not least, my fellow devil dog, Juju Rose. Absolutely. And to all of our subscribers, I thank you all for continuing to support our channel and continuing to help it grow. This is Black Panther Central. I ain't like that. Now, I'm going to talk about a superhero. That's who we're going to be talking about most of the time. And I got some other stuff planned down the road for us. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you got your notifications on. Leave a comment. Let's make it do what it do. And thank those who already subscribed. I see the numbers jumping up. That said, we out. In the meantime, in between time, till next time. And remember the late, great Don Cornelius and Chad, we both. And I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and so, yeah.